All right, sports fans, we're back. It's been a while. Had some storage issues. Didn't have enough room on my computer for everything, but we're good to go now. We're here in Hagerstown. This is normally the tour of Washington County kickoff crit, but no tour this year, so they're just calling it the Visit Hagerstown and Washington County Twilight Crit. And of course, we're off being a downtown event. And one of the few downtown races we have in our area. It's always just a fist fight. So straight from the gun, we're off to the races here. 30 miles an hour into turn 2. You know, that's how we do. Yeah, so coming into this race, I had been up since 3 a.m. since it's a Friday night. I had to work in the morning, so it starts at 8. So I've only been up for, what is that, 15 hours? I don't know, can't even do math. Forever. And yeah, so I didn't take it easy, so I didn't taper coming into this. No one's going to be a hard race. I trained hard all week, and my coach likes to run me like Secretariat, just beat me up until the race starts. So our plan was to, I'm with one teammate at the start there. You saw him right behind me. The plan was to try and keep the group together, and for Pete, my teammate, to try and get away late in the race if we're all still together. So I was going to just sit in and just follow wheels, but it started off fast and people were starting to leave gaps open right away, and I just did not want to miss the split if there was one to happen early on. So start off working hard at the front, just trying to maintain a position here in the front. As you can see, there's like guys just, going all in. This, like I said, it's a fist fight. This thing's rough and tough, and no punches pulled. So I marked this guy early on. He won in 2019 or 2018. His name is Dan Henry. He won the Clarendon Cup, not the Clarendon Cup, Crystal City Cup of the Armed Forces Cycling Classic, that's a really tough race every year. I mean, you're talking 100 guys in that race, and he won it. It's no easy feat. So definitely keeping an eye on him. And no real big team presence other than a new team formed last year called the Cumberland Valley Collective. I'm going to refer to them from now on as CVC. So to help with ease of wording, I guess. I don't know. To make it quicker instead of big drawn out words. So opening laps are pretty much just like this, where guys would send off flyers, and then everybody we get on and chase it back. And just for reference, I did put my heart rate up on this video because like my threshold heart rate's 175. Like if I'm doing a FTP test, I'll average 175. So we're not even 5 minutes in and I'm almost at 180. So it is hard, no doubt, but I'm actually feeling good. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel coming into this race because, like I said, it had been a long week, training hard, long day, and we're just hammering on each other, just beating us up. But I like doing this race, even though it starts late at night, because it's in my backyard. It's a 30-minute drive. I work in Hagerstown, so definitely going to come out for this one if I can. And being Father's Day weekend as well, it's all about me. So we're coming up on 5 minutes into the race, and like I said, it's going to continue this cycle of attack and be brought back. And we're strung out. I mean, we're single file still, so this is officially my first Cat 3 only race of the year that has not been preceded by a Masters race. So any other Cat 3 race I've done other events beforehand. So I drop back here because I've been on the front, so I figure at this point we've settled down some, and anybody that's going to leave gaps open has been separated from this front group because like I said, it was going hard. So we're about 10 minutes into the race, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna settle in, just try and sit in the pack and catch some draft and calm my heart down some, because it's been it's been a hard effort so far. And one thing to note, as we just swung by that corner 2 there, is pedestrians. On this course, every year we have issues with pedestrians, and that this year was no different. And that will come into play later on in this race. So, other guys to note in this race, he was on the front early on, was Sam Fuller. He's on my coach's team, Otterhouse Racing. And then this gentleman right here, 876, forgot to get his name, but hella strong rider. He will be a player later on. And then, so I was, like I said, I felt really good, and I didn't feel like I was in danger at all. Like, I never felt in trouble early on here, so I was really happy with that. I've seen this race before in the Cat 3s, and a lot of strong guys come out. So right here is my first mistake. A split happens, and these 2 guys on the front, and the orange and the white there, are on the same team. They're on CVC. They let this gap open up. I see it now. Can't come around until I pass that guy that had a flat, and I realize, okay, I gotta go. I gotta make this split. I gotta make this bridge, because that front group is now gone. Like, there were 10 seconds, I think, at that first corner. In that little bit of time, it doesn't take much at these kind of speeds to make that separation. So I decided to try and make this bridge, and so I put in an all-in effort to try and catch them. Well, guess what? Didn't happen. So here we are, like 6 minutes later, a very long 6 minutes. There goes Kyle Irwin. He's with CVC, and comes up on me and then immediately hits out around me. Good guy, smart racer, and as you see, like, they made that split happen. So I don't know if he was trying to bridge up to me or trying to bridge up to the front group, but then here comes this young gentleman here is Max Anderson. I have raced with him before. If you've watched my previous videos, he was in the breakaway that I got into in Marietta. I think he took 2nd or 3rd in that race. I took 4th. Anyway, good kid, because he gave me his beer that he won on that race, so kudos to him. So he ends up dropping me and Kyle. Like, he goes around Kyle here. It's a super strong kid. He goes around Kyle and ends up bridging up to the front group. So that was a super impressive effort, because my God, I'm putting everything I have into what I've got right now, and it ain't much. So, as you can see, yeah, Max is like dropping Kyle now. So, and we're catching. So something else to note in this race is that we, as you can see right here, there's a young lady. We were mixed in with the Cat 1, 2, 3 women. And now you see I just got caught by another CVC rider, and I think one more came up with him, maybe more, and I realize he's on me because I look back and I flick my elbow to come around. He comes around, I drop in behind him, and it's a nice reprieve from a solo effort. And yeah, so these two guys are with me for a little while, and then he's like putting in efforts to try and drop me, which is a good idea, because I tell you what, I'm surprised it didn't work. I was pretty exhausted. I think we're getting ready to get caught by the main group. So, let's see here. Okay, that's this guy comes flying up from the pack behind us. That is the gentleman 876 again. So, like I said, super strong rider, and he just comes flying up on us. This CBC rider, you know, closes the gap down. Luckily, I could stay on his wheel to help close that gap. And then, so it's just the four of us for a little bit here. And we're not even, what, 21 minutes into this race? And that poor guy's like, you know, like, I'm done trying to do all the work. So then we get caught by the rest of the group, and then there goes 876 again, putting in another dig, trying to get away. And so I'm on the front. I'm going to close that gap down, and then the rest of the riders are going to come by here shortly, I think, catch on to us. So the little group has now turned into a bigger group, and there's another CBC rider, and he goes to the front. And there's a pedestrian walking right across the group there. So you see, like I said, like, people just do not care in this town sometimes. Like, they'll risk getting hit by someone doing 30 miles an hour on a bike. They don't care. They own the road. So now the group has swollen up. I think this is the main pack that I tried bridging from earlier. So there's like probably 15 to 20 of us in this group. And they start to come around me here. I am definitely feeling the 20 minutes of effort that I put in so far. As you can see, my heart rate's 180. And here comes my teammate Pete, and he yells at me to catch on, and I'm glad he did, because honestly, I probably would have faded back if he hadn't yelled at me. So I put in a little bit of an effort. I know I can take this corner pretty fast, so I use that to my advantage, and take a breather there so I can go through that corner fast, and then catch on just after the corner 2 here. Or right before it. Look at there. Look at me. So, and this group pretty much, after I caught back on, this was the rest. That was the rest of the group, and then that group, it pretty much just went like this. It would be a CBC rider would go to the front, slow us down to try and keep the separation between us and that front group, because they had a rider they had a lot of confidence in that front group. So they would slow us down, and then someone would come around, try and set the pace. At this point, it's me. I was trying to set a hard pace, and then, you know, then flyers would go. So, and then the CBC guys would go to the front, shut it down, and then rinse and repeat. It was just kind of like this for the next 10-15 minutes or something like that or so. This is an hour-long race. So as you can see, I put the timer on the bottom right there. just so you can know where we're at in the race. So we're coming up on 34 minutes into it. Those riders are off the front, and then so for some reason I'm still doing a lot of work. I think, you know, it's hard to remember what I was thinking because, my God, I was freaking delirious. Just riding as hard as I could. My goal here, I think, at this point was to try and just keep us together so Pete could try and bridge up, because he wanted to, you know, go. He said he could go with 3 to go, and put in a really big effort. And I was like, okay. So I'm just kind of counting down the laps, trying to make sure that we're in the race, what's left of it. Because there's like, my math was wrong. Early on, I thought there was only 5 guys up the road. No, there was like 10 or 11. So way more than I thought early on. So we're all together. I'm at the front again for some reason. And like I said, I think we're going to jump forward here a little bit. I wish we could see the lap counters because I can't remember where we're at. But all right, we're jumping. We're 46 minutes in, and I yell back for my teammate because we're coming. I think it was about 3 to go, or 3.5 to go, and I just wanted to see if he was there. That guy goes, and I was like, I gotta go. I don't know why. I was just like, I gotta go. So I went. My teammate played a heck of a role here. He went to the front because he was just coming up behind me as I went, and he shut down any kind of chase. So that gave me and this guy a nice gap. And as you'll find out here shortly, this guy was way stronger than I was. At this day or this time, or just in general probably. His pulls, he would come around me and just pull so hard, like he's like that. But this time I couldn't close the gap down. So he drops me. Now I am solo. So he goes on, catches the front group, solo. So now I'm kind of in limbo. I don't have anyone else to ride with. I am going as hard as I can right now. I mean, I'm not saying it's anything special. I mean, look, 320 watts, nothing great there. And it's going to slowly drop off. But I'm putting everything I can into the pedals. And that's what you see my head down. I'm just, you know, you see my heart rate is going up. I'm just putting everything I can into these pedals, which is not much because I just want to stay away. Like, I know right now, if I get caught by the group that was behind me that I jumped from, I'm going to get smoked in the finish because I'm going to be exhausted. So I'm just putting everything I have on a Hail Mary to try and stay away and get a decent finish, or if not, at least put me and my team in the money, because they pay 15 deep in this race. So I'm calculating, I'm like, I think I can get in the money. So then these 2 CVC riders catch me and immediately try and ride through me and attack me, but somehow I pull out an effort and I was able to jump on with them. And that little outside of that last corner there before the start finish is an uphill. I mean, it's not a climb or anything, but it definitely, every lap, it's a struggle to get up, and to attack me right there is a perfect spot to attack me after I've been riding solo. Somehow, I closed that gap. Honestly, I have no idea how I'm doing this. I am bleeding from my eyeballs, just trying to stay on these guys. And so, right now, I'm on the back, and I'm like, I'm not going to pull through. I'm not going to do any effort unless I have to close the gap and they try and gap me. So right here, that guy pulls off, and I let him fall into behind his teammate. So I fall in behind him. And so I think we just got 2 to go. So we just passed 2 to go. So we are 1.5 laps out from the finish. So like I said, I'm beat up. Like, I've been trying to do something this entire race to make it all worth it. And so I'm just hoping that I can hang on with these guys until the finish, and if I can hang on to the back of them, maybe out sprint them. At this point, that's what I'm thinking. I had not, planned on catching the front group. I figured they were away and we'd never see them again. So right there, but they put in another dig on me, and I closed the gap. Like, I honestly, they know what they're doing. They really raced well as a team. I got to give them that, and unfortunately, it did not pay off for them for a win. They didn't even get on the podium. Their rider they had confidence in came in 6th. So that group up the road right now, I see them, and I'm going, fuck. Because I think they're lapped riders. Those are not lapped riders. That is the front group. If I had known that, I may have tried to jump off of this gentleman in front of me to try and get up to them for the finish. I honestly thought they were lapped riders. So he starts to leave a gap open as his teammate goes, and honestly, I don't know that I could have done much more, but so I decided to go around him to try and catch up to his teammate, thinking that these are lapped riders. And then I didn't realize it until the finish, after I finished, that was the front group. So that's Dustin Byers there of Otterhouse, and when I saw him, I was like, oh, he must have been in the front group. So I was like, oh, damn, this must be the back of the front group, and I never thought about it. There was an accident from that front group. Unfortunately, there were some people that went down. Nothing major, no major injuries, but it still always sucks. But I'd stand up to sprint right about here, and nothing. I hit maybe 400 watts. I got nothing in my legs left. I'm absolutely cooked. And as it turns out, Dustin was not with the lead group. He had been lapped. So when he sprinted across the line, and then we counted places after the race, like from a video, I was like, oh, I got 13th. But no, I actually got 12th because he wasn't in that front group. So I got 12th place, and there's Kyle congratulating me, and I'm cursing at him for leaving that gap open and making me try and chase on. But so yeah, came in 12th place. I did get in the money. Absolutely the hardest I've ever raced. Like, I don't think, as for my first Cat 3 race, I don't think I could have done any more. Like, it was, I just missed the split. That was it. Bad timing. So as you can see, normalized power 290, average power 262, average miles per hour 25, average heart rate 176. It was a straight up threshold effort for an hour. So, all right, guys. Thanks for sticking around, and let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. Appreciate it. Until next time, namaste, bitches.